You know those fighters who dance, brag, and act like they're unbeatable in the ring? Yeah, they look cool until they push it too far.
Left hook, that's the fourth time. Miranda's down, make it number 5 now. He's down 2 times here.
In this video, we're watching what happens when cocky, showboating fighters finally face someone who shuts them up fast. Get ready to see pride turn into panic and confidence crushed in just a few brutal seconds.
Who's next?
Lemieux, hopefully.
And what happens?
Take that thong out his ass. Let me give you a spanking and take that thong out your ass. You heard, chump?
There you have it.
What about David Lemieux? I love that.
Yeah, I want that pussy. He hot.
Can you say that again?
I want that pussy. So get that thong out his ass.
In March 2017, David Lemieux and Curtis Stevens met for the WBA Intercontinental Middleweight title at Turning Stone Resort and Casino in Verona, New York. When Stevens was asked what his opponent should expect during a brief interview, he told the reporter that he should expect pain.
What can he expect from the cerebral assassin?
Oh, pain. Pain. You know one of them toothaches? You ever had a bad toothache that you didn't go get taken out just yet? Or you had a surgery and they didn't give you no medicines to help you cope with it? One of them type of pains. Pain that's you need something to come in your body to take it away. A straight pain though.
Unfortunately, he was the one who was left in pain in just 3 rounds as Lemieux connected with a thunderous left hand that landed flush on his face and knocked him out cold under the ropes. In January 2007, Kelly Pavlik and Jose Luis met at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California.
There you see the left uppercut, but Jorge Arce certainly behind Jose Luis Zertucci.
Jose Luis would occasionally lift his hands in the air after he was caught by shots from Pavlik.
Dramatically, and though Pavlik is starting to take control of the fighting.
He did it in the final seconds of the 6th round, but he was shortly caught by a left-right combination from Pavlik that sent him to the canvas.
Oh, big right hand, and there it is.
Straight on the chin. Great punch.
Again, in the 8th round, Luis reacted to punches repeatedly by lifting his hands in the air, calling for more shots.
Well, he says it's been a frustrating, create some butts, if you will.
He got what he deserved moments later after Pavlik floored him with a 4-punch combination that knocked him out cold on his feet before crashing to the canvas.
He's so long as Zertucci to sleep with a right hand.
In June 2008, Arthur Abraham and Edison Miranda had a rematch at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, but it seems that Miranda has no respect for his humble opponent.
Good luck, God bless the both of you. Anything below here is a low blow. Your belt is looking good. Shake hands, God bless. He's sometimes wild and on this, but there's a very well. He refereed his last fight, so he's been in there with him before. Miranda again, taking Abraham into the...
Miranda was caught by a right hook in the 3rd round by Abraham, but he reacted by beating his chest, still too cocky.
About that, of course, heavy... Oh, look out! Wow!
However, coming into the 4th round, Abraham floored Miranda twice in the 1st minute with left hooks.
That was a right hand, but... Oh, look out! Miranda is 6, 7... Hey, go! Can you continue? Okay! They were in the last round and right hand, and it was a left hook. That's the 4th time. Miranda's down, make it number 5 now. He's down 2 times here in the 4th.
Shortly after the 2nd knockdown, Miranda was back on his feet to continue fighting. But Abraham ended the fight for good with another right-left combination, forcing the referee to wave the fight over immediately.
2 times here. He's down for a 3rd time, and it's over.
His stock and trade. Well, actually, the first one, right hand started the... And this one got there very, very strongly. It would land. Every time he threw that hook, it was getting in, and that was the end of the fight, the 3rd and final.
This exhibition match, former Australian boxer Butterbean and American Jackie Beard met in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
It doesn't matter because it's a tough man fight. And Jackie Beard coming right at Butterbean.
In the second round, Beard engaged in a little showboating by dancing around the ring.
So 4 rounds. That's right, he said we're both 4-round fighters. This is the second round. And Bean says, come on. He says, no, you hit me on the shoulder.
But in the third round, Butterbean connected with a big right hand that landed flush on the chin, sending Beard crashing into the ropes.
Oh, the big right hand. Bean's been waiting for that shot. And there was nothing fluke about that. No. That's it. He's still out. There it is. Good shot.
On February 27th, 2021, Hemi Ahio fights in a rematch against Julius Long in his scheduled 8-round bout.
Long looking to frame with that right hand.
Look out of there.
Throughout the fight and during the rounds, Long tried to intimidate his opponent by trash-talking him.
He's doing everything he can to spoil, to put him either hit or heel off his game.
Many times, Long stopped defending himself.
Every time he eludes a punch too, not that time though. It saps the energy.
And whenever Ahio connected with his shots, he made funny gestures to taunt him.
Hemi.
Well, that's starting to become an interesting round because he's landing a lot of shots, he's talking a lot of smack.
In round 4, Long sent Ahio to the canvas with a right shot.
Starting to walk in and do the same thing. It was more of a push down.
But he quickly recovered and started finding success with his own shots.
It's a success from there tonight.
In round 7, Ahio connected with a left hook that landed flush on the button, setting his giant opponent crashing to the canvas.
In the end, Ahio's power took its toll.
Julius Long epitomizes what it means to be a boxer.
On February 8th, 2012, Sonny Bill Williams and Clarence Tillman met in his scheduled 10-round bout in Hamilton, New Zealand. A scuffle ensued during the face-off after Tillman forcefully shoved Williams before throwing a punch.
Williams is clearly hit.
It's pretty below the belt, but that's all good.
It's a dog shot. You got him with a dog shot.
He's the one talking up, but just come just to do the press conference and then you can leave it all in the ring tomorrow. But obviously, you know, there's other things on his mind and he wants to bring the fight right now. So if we wanted to, we could get it on right now, but you know, got to wait for tomorrow. So.
However, when they met in the ring, Williams made short work of Tillman by overwhelming him with a series of punches. The referee was forced to stop the fight after Tillman could no longer defend himself.
Sonny Bull arrived as a boxer. Wow. And Tillman looks like it's all over.
Did the troubles, and Clarence Tillman trying to find his way. Really, had he been a more experienced fighter, he should have just taken the knee.
New Zealand heavyweight champion, Sonny Bill Williams.
On March 12, 2023, undefeated Tszyu faced former light middleweight champion Tony Harrison for the interim WBO light middleweight title. Before the fight, Harrison underrated his opponent and trash-talked him.
Where do you see Tim as much love? Everywhere. He's everywhere. He's vulnerable everywhere. He's vulnerable to get hit, body and head. He's vulnerable when he's going back on his back foot, mostly. So expect the unexpected.
He's just a basic fighter, man. He just shows me nothing a high level of skill of a setup for a high level skill fighter. I think people are giving him more credit than he deserves when it comes down to the power aspect of it. Do I think he hit harder than Jamel? Nah. Do I think he hit harder than her? Nah. Basic means that he does nothing that nobody doesn't see with the naked eye. You know what I mean? That's what a basic fighter does. You know, he just, like I said, one gear straight ahead. Pressure, throw as many shots as I can, take as many shots as I can, give harder shots than I gave him.
Amen. But listen to me, the people that you beat, come on. I could have tore my Achilles and beat those guys. I'm better. I'm smarter. I'm quick. I'm reactive. I come from the tutelage of the best, Ali, Emmanuel Stewart, Detroit. I've sparred the best. And that's part of my preparation. Part of my preparation was always getting there by fighting the best.
He even made inappropriate gestures during the ring introduction.
1/2 pounds. Still have over a minute to go in this round, but final seconds here.
Following a relatively even opening round, Tszyu started to find his range in the second round, rocking Harrison with several hard punches. Tszyu continued throwing more damaging punches from the third round.
Percentage, it's been Harrison's jab against Tszyu's. Yeah, no. There's a right hand, that one rocked Harrison. And a left hook.
Then in round 9, Tszyu had Harrison backed against the ropes, where he unloaded a barrage of punches that dropped him to the canvas.
On the button to Harrison, and a right to the belly. Harrison's hurt. He's got to hold on. Double uppercut by Tszyu. He's looking to stop Tony Harrison and drops him.
Harrison got back on wobbly legs, forcing the referee to end the fight.
Dan Rex Top Dawson says that is it.
On September 18th, 2009, two-time Olympic gold medalist Guillermo Rigondeaux faced Brazil's Giovanni Andrade in his third professional bout.
We're underway. And Andrade wins. Have come against a 10-rounder for Guillermo Rigondeaux. He comes out with some purpose.
Although Andrade came out mostly defensive, he attempted to aggravate Rigondeaux by leaving himself open and yelling at him.
Andrade was knocked out by a southpaw. Andrade is yelling at him, come on. I don't think you need to do that. To score points, doesn't use it to do damage, uses it to get a measuring.
In round 2, Andrade took a knee without a punch landing, but continued taunting Rigondeaux.
He goes down and takes a knee without a shot. Confidence. To me, maybe I'm wrong, we're going to find out.
After the action resumed, late in the third round, Rigondeaux landed a solid left to the body that caused Andrade to drop to the canvas.
Andrade opts to go down, and now he's wincing in pain.
After a delayed reaction, the referee stopped the fight.
Shaking his head, he's quitting. And it's it, that's it. In pain, we're going to see it right here. There it is. Such a well-placed shot.
Guillermo El Chacal Rigondeaux.
Michael Venom Page built his name on flash and flare. Every fight was a highlight reel.
Starting to look like a kid in the school. It's over. And it's all over.
Every move a masterpiece.
Oh,
he danced, taunted, and dismantled opponents with ease. His confidence was untouchable, and when he faced Douglas Lima, he treated him like another name to add to his list of victims. From the opening bell, Page put on a show. Hands down, bouncing around, grinning at the crowd. He fought like a man who thought losing was impossible.
When your hands are up.
They're mentally in the fight against his father who died on Boxing Day last year.
Lima, though, wasn't buying into the spectacle. He knew Page thrived in striking exchanges, so he dragged him into deep waters. Testing his patience and resilience. Round 2. Page, still in full entertainer mode, danced his way into disaster.
Showing already, John, in the way he reacts, although he got injured. And there's a jumping attack by Page.
One mistake, one split-second lapse. That's all Lima needed.
Quiet at 100%.
Oh, and there. What a shot by Lima! Mamma mia!
A perfectly timed strike sent Page crashing to the canvas. The once invincible showman lay motionless.
Popping Michael Venom Page.
His undefeated record shattered, his aura of invincibility erased. For the first time in his career, Page wasn't the artist. He was the masterpiece of someone else's victory. Zdravko Tarnagiev, nicknamed Bad News, inked up like a walking newspaper, built like a tank and full of arrogance. And across from him, for Gaspar, a quiet Spaniard with nothing to prove. But respect wasn't on Zdravko's agenda.
Hey.
Fight night arrived, and Zdravko strutted in like he owned the ring. Gaspar, despite 2 failed takedown attempts, wasn't backing down. He'd do it standing if he couldn't win on the ground.
Striking.
A sudden flurry of strikes later, the supposed powerhouse was crumbling. Humiliated, Zdravko walked away defeated and bruised with an injured hand. 6 months later, the rematch was set, but this time something had changed. Gaspar, once the humble warrior, was now the cocky one. No handshake, no respect, just a reckless charge at Zdravko. But arrogance has a price, and Zdravko was ready to collect.
Aquí se lesionó, en cualquier momento lo puede parar Jesús, le dice que pelee de vuelta, son muchos golpes, Zdravko está parado.
In a brutal twist of fate, the overconfident Gaspar met the same downfall he had once handed out. He should have learned from Zdravko's mistake. Pride doesn't make you invincible, it just makes your fall that much harder.
According to all 5 judges, oh my! Defend yourself at all times!
June 10th, 2016, Grigorian, a Dutch fighter on the point of losing his title shot, made a move that sent shockwaves through the combat world. His opponent, Armenian warrior Harut Grigorian, had been overwhelming him with relentless pressure.
These explosive combinations.
Desperation kicked in. Just as Grigorian momentarily turned away, Grard struck from behind.
According to all 5 judges, oh my! Defend yourself at all times!
An underhanded knockout that left the judges stunned and the internet in flames. Grand celebrated like a man who had earned the victory, but the moment was short-lived. Grigorian's team stormed the ring, igniting chaos.
Fight the ring, people are attacking Groenhart! It's insanity!
The controversial finish sparked global outrage, with fans demanding justice. 6 months later, they got it. But the stakes were even higher this time. Grard had secured the championship belt, making the rematch personal.
What a performance for Harut Grigorian!
Under the bright lights, Grigorian stood emotionless, his eyes locked on his rival. The crowd roared, fueling his hunger for revenge.
For the first time against Harut Grigorian, here we go. It's our main event.
The bell rang and Grard found himself on the canvas within moments.
What a big roundhouse right hand for them. There's a knee and a right hand and
pivot out. Don't stay center.
Oh, and that right hand connected. And Groenhart is dead.
Staggering, barely able to stand, he braced for the inevitable. Grigorian, relentless as ever, finished what he started.
Groenhart's in survival mode right now. We may have a new champ in the making. Harut Grigorian hitting the champ. What is it? The referee has stopped it. Are you kidding me?
And new glory welterweight champion of the world, Harut Grigorian.
Leandro Silva entered the cage with a primate mask, full of confidence and flair.
Don't think that's all he's got, even with the moves outside the ring.
His opponent, Slovakia's undefeated Marek Mazuch, carried a perfect 6-0 record and wasn't here for theatrics. On the other hand, Silva was coming off 3 consecutive losses, but you wouldn't have guessed it by his swagger. From the opening bell, he moved with precision, controlling the pace and overwhelming Mazuch.
Yeah, so we may see blood early if Apollo can land.
Pick his target, but he got big.
Really nice double jab right hand from Apollo.
This would be huge if he can finish this.
A lot of heart and discipline.
Short shots, but they're working, Luke. This is great tactics from Apollo. Look at the boxing on display here.
No one expected this kind of dominance from the Brazilian. Mazuch struggled to find an opening. Every attempt to strike was met with counterattacks that left him on the defensive.
Look at the blood really flowing from that nose now.
Still riding high, Silva entered the second round with renewed confidence, throwing sharp combinations and taunting his opponent with flashy movements.
I believe that's Apollo Creed.
That's exactly right. Oh, look how relaxed this guy is.
But karma had other plans. Just as Silva got comfortable, Mazuch struck with a devastating attack, one clean shot that ended the show.
Big left hand lands.
The undefeated Slovak left his record intact, while Silva went with more than a loss.
Apollo, he smells blood and comes flying forward as Marek. That right hook lands on the chin, and good night.
That primate mask, he never put it on again. Bernard Hopkins went down in history as one of the best to ever do it.
We talked a little bit about him before the Olympics.
However, we just can't forget the time he disrespected white fighters.
I would never let a white boy beat me. I would never let a white boy beat me. I would never let a white boy beat me. I would never let a white boy beat me.
He was always cocky in interviews and fights, but he hadn't yet received the punishment he deserved for his actions. That all changed in 2016 when at the age of 51, he was looking for one last fight before retiring, hoping to secure victory and end his 27-year-old career. On the opposite side, a white fighter, Joe Smith Jr., was a formidable puncher and the one who wanted to punish Hopkins for his sayings.
Common man. Special man. Which one you want? Common. You won't be special come Saturday. You will stay common.
The fight was one-sided from the start, with Smith Jr. beating the old man up.
Right hand by Joe Smith. Anymore, and there was no...
The effects of right now.
Yeah, the wider punches of Joe Smith.
In the 8th round, the unexpected happened as Hopkins found himself near the ropes. Smith unleashed a flurry of punches, culminating in a devastating right hand that sent Hopkins through the ropes and onto the floor outside the ring.
Big right hand.
He's out.
A left hook, another left hook, and then a big punch.
Unable to continue due to the injury sustained from the fall, Hopkins was defeated by a technical knockout, marking the end of his remarkable career.
It is your last fight. You will not fight again?
No.
Vitaly Klitschko was always known for his calm aura and ability to keep his cool, even when his opponents disrespected him, like getting slept, for example. A crazy Shannon Briggs was given a shot at the WBC title of Klitschko, and he for sure knew that the only way to win such a fight was through mental warfare.
I'm the best that ever did it. I'm asthmatic, 2-time heavyweight champion, and that's mine Saturday night. And nothing can happen. Ain't nothing. He can't beat me. I already died 10 times. Take it easy, Daddy. Take it easy, Daddy. Take it easy, Daddy. You know I don't play that. You know me.
After many attempts to distract Klitschko, it was finally time to face him in the ring and finally get an answer to all those insults. But after going through those 36 minutes with Dr. Iron Fist, Briggs, who got hit again and again, most worryingly with flush right hands to the head and jaw, managed to make it to the final bell.
Klitschko in rechte Unterkörper. Wollte sich dann ein bisschen da aus der... Da kann man die...
After the fight, he was then sent to the hospital in Hamburg, Germany, too badly damaged to be allowed to fly home. Mike Tyson, in the earlier parts of his career, was a calm and reasonable person. As the years passed, he began to present a more aggressive aura against his opponents. A victim of this was Lennox Lewis, who Mike Tyson carried a different type of hatred towards, and it showed in the interviews he had.
He's the Homo sapien, I'm the Homo superior. He's not afraid of him. This is one time he's going to get hit.
And at the official press conference of the fight. The only thing wrong with this was that Mike was no longer capable of delivering a good match against his opponents, so all of his words were literally empty. While Tyson started the fight aggressively, he eventually slowed down his pace and began eating some heavy shots by the bigger Lewis, eventually dropping him for good in the 8th round.
He can't take too many more of those right hands. It's the 7th round. Lennox Lewis tripling Mike Tyson. Lewis unloaded.
Got hard.
Yeah, you can't take that from him. Big right hand from Lewis, and Tyson goes down for the 3rd time in his career.
By a tremendous amount of punishment.
Disrespecting Alexander Usyk is never a good idea. And while he always carries himself as a true sportsman, some people still try to downplay him. Marco Huck repeatedly showed his disrespect against Usyk, and the only thing now left was for him to live up to the expectations in the fight. Even from the very first round, Huck was getting dominated.
Far less activity, that terrific contact, really heavily, and works away with that right hand.
And in the later rounds, he kept getting hammered.
To the mark, and now beginning to bring uppercuts. Continuing to work shield in that maniacal green that he possesses to intervene. But in fairness,
until he finally learned his lesson in the 10th round.
Weaving in front of his man, vulnerable
position, but it appears to me as he's off the ropes, but then he tosses across the boxing ring, out of the corner, uppercut finish, working away furiously, shots underneath, Rutherford stepped in, and then waved it.
Marco Huck should be an example of why you should never disrespect a humble guy, because in the end, you will get stepped on. Unbeaten Ramart Gaballo took on Yuya Nakamura in a scheduled 10-round bout. Nakamura went towards Gaballo's corner before the start of the fight, trying to intimidate his opponent. However, that turned out to be a big mistake, as it only made Gaballo angry.
And again, knockout ratio and Price able to connect 2 solid blows, make that 3-4.
Gaballo went into full attack mode from the first bell, dropping Nakamura twice in the opening round.
Knocked down in the first round, this matchup.
Was actually very aggressive, strong starter, fast starter, something na hindi binibigay ng kumbaga yung piron sa boxing catcher.
Nakamura made it out of the first round, but Gaballo went for the kill in round 2 and ended the show with a knockout.
Another hot landing left hook to the side of the face. Third knockdown of the match.
Russian Dmitry Kudryashov took on Brazilian MMA fighter Fernando Rodriguez in a scheduled 6-round exhibition bout. However, Rodriguez presented Kudryashov with a pillow before the fight, alluding to his plan to knock the Russian out.
Это подушка, намек от бразильца. Завтра после нокаута Дмитрий будет...
Once the fight started, the Brazilian continued to taunt Kudryashov by daring him to throw more punches. Unfortunately for Rodriguez, Kudryashov obliged and put him to sleep with a brutal knockout punch.
Супер тяжелом весе битвы русская кувалда Кудряшов!
Oh, they are going to get it on right. Look at that stare down.
Edison Salterin versus Andrei Mikhailovich was expected to be a hard-fought fight. And even from the very first seconds, we had a knockdown.
Work against the southpaw.
Wow. After being dropped, Mikhailovich picked up the pace.
Not expend too much round, I believe, straight at the...
They're going to make his statement. Here we go.
Landing strong punches.
Got that first one by fighting in close. And the uppercut again.
On the inside. The fight that Salterin wants to fight.
Which led his opponent to throw a dirty shot during the break.
Putting the overhook there, he's tying him up. Waiting for...
Mikhailovich used all of his anger and kept connecting leather to Salterin's face until the very end, teaching him a lesson.
Stuck on the ropes, punching himself out of the ropes, and he's dropped him. And he's dropped him good.
Here's the liver shot. He's been looking...
Watch it.
Salterin's still showing plenty of moxie there. Eats a couple of rights and...
He's got him stuck on the ropes.
Closely.
And Salterin's down.
Be careful there.
3, 4, 5.
It's over. It's done. Mikhailovich gets the job done.
This amateur bout between Artem Suzlenkov and Shamil Mansuvorov took place at the 2020 Russian Boxing Championship.
Во всех он одержал победу. Его нокаутом. Ну, в общем, его оппонент Мансуров Шамиль мастер.
Shamil thought it would be a good idea to taunt his opponent during this contest.
Заканчивать поединок. Шамиль Мансуров. Да, работает. Мастер спорта международного класса. Да? Сложно назвать, что он делает что-то неправильно. Правильно. Поднимает обе руки вперед. Иногда, кстати, вот эти поднятые руки...
However, Suzlenkov made him pay dearly for his showboating by knocking him out in the 3rd round.
Здесь уже приходится работать наверняка. Жесткий прав. Попал! И это удар и нокдаун. 6. Ну и сейчас самое интересное. Профессиональная манера. Эту комбинацию проводил Артем. И вот, пожалуйста.
In this classic matchup, light welterweight legend Aaron Pryor returned to the ring after a 2-year hiatus to face journeyman Bobby Joe Young. The unbeaten Pryor showed no respect for the young and even tried to beat up the journeyman before the actual start.
by the Florida Athletic Commission.
Once the action began, Pryor turned that boxing ring into a circus showboating and taunting his opponent.
To go in the opening round, Larry McCall in the pass. Starting to come on, putting a little bit of pressure on Bobby Joe. This is so far, there's no question. Pryor seems to be hurt again. Oh, a tremendous right hand shot there in Pryor. Now, and that looks like it could be a problem should this fight go into the later round. Randy. This is about an 18-foot ring.
However, he was punished for his rude behavior in the 7th round when Young knocked him out.
Just on flat-footed, Randy. Good power behind his punches. Good, solid right hand by Bobby Joe. Stripes on his shorts. I'm Randy Gordon along with Letterman. Oh, what a right hand, Randy. Bobby Joe Young landed a tremendous right hand, and Aaron Pryor is on clear street. He is shaking. The legs are just quivering. He got counted out. He actually got up, went down to one knee, and got counted out. Unbelievable.
Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte had a past. They had fought in the amateurs where Dillian had grabbed the victory and kept mentioning it to Joshua's face, along with other insults.
There was no skill involved in the fight. That was like a street fight. That's all it was.
Having skill is being number one.
No, listen. In that fight, you were shy, you got disheartened, you got beat down. At the end of the fight, you fold over, you was running away.
You need to learn how to finish people as well. You can't finish people.
Okay. Your heart will fail you. Trust me.
Then, best of luck December 12th.
No.
Be a man.
I don't want to shake your hand. I don't need to shake your hand. All this fake.
Boys.
Listen, I don't need this. You can stand up and try and stare me down. I don't care.
Dillian had mocked Joshua a lot, and it was finally time to see if his mouth would keep up with his fighting.
Trim, 245 pounds. That's his 6th fight in a row that he's been in the passengers. But
even from the very start, Joshua took out his anger on Dillian.
We're targeting that, but there's another moment. He's backed up. He's got to be careful. Whyte just seems to be a little bit out of idea.
Frustrated after such a beating, Dillian Whyte hit Joshua after the bell.
One on the bell. Oh, and look at Whyte. Whyte's gone crazy.
However, Joshua kept his composure and finally knocked Dillian to the shadow realms for good.
That's a good counter punches. Oh, it's a big shot, Nick. Rocked him early in trouble. Whyte backing up. Whether this storm get through this, looks like he's in no rush. He's playing the matador in there at the moment. Bludgeoned him with a huge right uppercut. It looked like it was going to go a little bit longer than that.
Paul Teague has a habit of wearing a clown mask for weigh-ins, but it doesn't seem to work in his favor.
Seconds remaining, round number 1. There you go. He's in the lap right now. Down goes Paul Teague.
Here we are at the weigh-ins for his 2nd bare knuckle fight against Joshua Alvarez, and this dude is still clowning around.
It is in the lightweight division. Things taking on Paul Teague. Here is Paul the Ninja Turtle.
Despite a significant height and reach disadvantage, Alvarez executed a perfectly timed right-hand punch that ended the fight in just 17 seconds.
Black and gold trunks for Fames, dark gray trunks for Paul Teague.
He's not getting that. They're not letting us go.
That is it! Just like that! Welcome to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship.
2004 Olympic gold medalist Odlanir Solis made the 2nd defense of his IBF Intercontinental Heavyweight title against German challenger Jakob Saglam. Saglam was busy taunting his opponent throughout the fight by raising his hands in the air and calling for more punches.
So that didn't hurt me, but it did. It was a good shot.
However, Solis obliged and unleashed brutal punches on him.
Out. Tries that uppercut and the left hook followed by the right hand. You get the job done, Solis. There's the right hand, good shot.
The punishment began to take a toll on Saglam, but he continued with his antics.
What we've seen here, you wouldn't buy into that velocity at all, would you? No, he's got all the skill. Solis at a distance. He's got opportunities here to land the counter.
Saglam got carried away in the 7th round and was destroyed by a brutal right hand from Solis.
Oh, look at that right hand. What a massive shot. It's all over. It's all over. He's that brilliant punch and with that right hand over the top. But this is the big shot. Over it went. Superb timing and accuracy.
In January 2024, internet celebrities Tristan Ham and Ronnie Peterson Jr., also known as Not Logan Paul, made their professional debuts against each other. Ham started as the aggressor.
Big shots from him.
But became overconfident and was caught by a flurry of punches from Peterson.
But only one boxing match. Caught Ham. Territory. I haven't been here before.
And in a bang.
It's wild.
Can he do this the whole fight? I don't think so.
No way, but he's doing pretty good here. Better than
But Peterson got too cocky, thinking he could get away with it.
Dude, be the aggressor. Be the offensive.
big right hand, and not Logan Paul is not going to be standing up. He's out. He knocked him out.
The fight, scheduled for 4 rounds, ended abruptly as Ham stopped the show with the first round knockout.
But Tristan.
Stop it. It's over.
That was huge.
And he has counted him out. And a big win.
Leveraging it, but simply wasn't enough. Once Ham connected, boy, you could feel that power, Todd.
He certainly should have gotten one there, but there was no stopping this one.
Colossal cross from Tristan Ham, and the uppercut doubles it up.
At Infusion Live 22, Andy Sauer faced the Iranian fighter Ardalan, who exhibited somewhat insane behavior.
Better. He's fast, though. Nice. Good. Spinning back.
Throughout the fight, Ardalan played peekaboo with danger.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
Taunting Sauer and treating the match like his playground.
There you go.
Don't do that with Sauer. That's stupid. You don't do that with Sauer, my friend.
No way.
Still laughing.
Oh my.
Still laughing.
That all led to this crazy moment when Andy landed a flying knee. In response, Ardalan decided to taunt his opponent, which led to a hilarious moment before he was knocked out.
There you go. There you go. You don't drop your hands with Andy Sauer. You don't drop your hands with Andy Sauer. He's absolutely snide. Bam. Right hand. Bang, bang, bang. Down you go. And it reminded me.
In the epic showdown between Joe Calzaghe and Jeff Lacey,
I'm gonna knock him out.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Lacey's pre-fight bravado led to hilarious overconfidence.
Don't get my cockiness confused with my confidence. I'm a very confident fighter. I prepare to be confident the way I am.
He was convinced he'd knock out Calzaghe, who he labeled a slapper because some of these punches felt like slaps. That's what he was thinking.
Oh, great left hand.
Joe says he's not been happy about some of your comments. You've called him a slapper?
Yeah. If you look at his fights, you wouldn't call him a slapper? I mean, it's something that everybody knows. You know, as a fighter, I see it.
Once the bell rang, it was like Lacey entering a different dimension.
You remember, the left had his way in, and then content to...
Calzaghe's superior hand speed and boxing skills left Lacey battered and bewildered.
His own. He didn't get the contest to go. That's the danger. Headshots. See the man who's been battered from pillar to post.
He was rocked several times.
Wing hooks. There's his girlfriend. Johnny, 1 or 2 cleaner shots.
And for the first time in his career, introduced to the canvas in the 12th round.
Calzaghe, take him out, even at this late stage. He's going again. Got him again. Says, come on. He's put Lacey down. Down for the first time in his career. Outstanding. God, how on earth is Lacey staying up there? Call him out. Gary Shaw is shouting across to the corner, get him out of there. Well, that's it.
Calzaghe emerged as the undisputed champ, and Lacey learned the hard way that not all slaps are created equal. Brandon Lambert faced Gerard Grant at Knucklemania in February of 2021. Despite Lambert's initial confidence heading into the matchup, he made the mistake of spending most of the fight taunting his opponent instead of focusing on fighting.
Put his hands down, look at him.
Clap hands down. Come on, goddammit!
Lambert's got to be careful just yelling and screaming right there. He's wasting energy, and you're going to need that in these later rounds.
Stands for Brandon Lambert. Right hand, left hand misses. Get there, didn't throw the jab first. Counter right hand just misses from Gerard Grant. The 1, pulled back to 2. Big right hand, that landed.
This approach proved costly as he was ultimately knocked out in the 3rd round by a powerful combination.
Jab from Grant. Huge right hand, and down goes Brandon Lambert. That is it. The win. Now Now 3-0 goes Jared Grant.
Didn't really, I think it caught part of the ear, so that's a legal punch.
We broke ass niggas that sleep with your fingers in your ass. Pussy ass. I'll never lose to another white boy. Two-time middleweight champion.
In October 2009, IBF middleweight champion Arthur Abraham took on fellow former middleweight champion Jermaine Taylor.
Here we go. Lupe Garcia brings them together. We are underway.
Taylor fell dirty at times and was caught throwing low blows in round 2, 4, and 11.
With that in mind, as Jermaine Taylor goes for the body Taylor camp. But that was a low blow by Taylor. Another one, followed by a left hook to the head. Here comes Abraham. Out of gas, test his endurance. Hard body shots at 9, but as we said earlier, oh, good right hand. Blow. Originally from Armenia. Oh, that looked like a low blow by
With only seconds remaining in the fight, Abraham landed a powerful straight right that pierced Taylor's gloves and put him out cold.
Abraham fights here. This isn't the total fight. Here goes Abraham again. Oh, and down goes Taylor. What a shame. It's over. They won't even finish the count. There it is. It was the right hand.
Taylor was hospitalized with a severe concussion, suffering short-term memory loss, and was unable to remember the details of this fight.
Real funny, huh? If any one of you that doesn't respect me or what I'm doing or what I've been doing for the last 3 months since we've been announced, and going against a guy like this, you'd have a big dump in your pants. I'm Hurricane Peter McNeely from Medfield, Mass. On Saturday night, watch me kick Tyson's ass. But if you haven't made your pay-per-view arrangements yet, make them soon, because remember what happens when I wrap you in my cocoon. And last but not least, Medfield!
Mike Tyson returned to professional boxing in August 1995 to face Peter McNeely. The battle lasted barely 89 seconds. Less than 10 seconds into the fight, Tyson landed a straight right that dropped his challenger to the canvas.
Comes right at Mike Tyson. Down goes McNeely. Seconds.
Less than 20 seconds later, Tyson landed a right uppercut that again sent Peter down.
They were starting to butt heads. Tyson with a left hook, a right uppercut, down goes McNeely again.
With McNeely clearly hurt from the exchange, his manager entered the ring to prevent him from taking any more damage, causing the referee to end the fight. Heavyweight contender Frank Sanchez ended a tougher-than-expected fight in a dramatic fashion.
I found out and read up on his father. Nice body shot there. That's a hard right shot.
The wild part is that Fernandez teased the Cuban throughout the fight and even begged to strike him in the face at one point.
Showing the toughness. Well, Frank, let's see it. A pitched battle.
The Cuban didn't just get the knockout win, but he actually punched his opponent through the ropes, sending him flying out over the side of the ring.
He's not winning any rounds. Oh, there's a hard right hand. And now on the ropes and out of the ring. And this fight is now over.
In April 2010, Butte snubbed his Colombian challenger in the third round to retain his IBF super middleweight title.
Left hand by Butte. Then he can handle himself.
In the third round, Butte delivered a handful of strikes to Miranda's head.
Good right hand by Miranda to start.
In an attempt to show that he is not hurt, Miranda lowers his hands and starts clowning.
Two with a great right hand. Nothing about it, but
combination from Butte. Miranda says.
As he moves back into the fight, Miranda is caught by a hard left uppercut to the chin that sends him face first to the canvas.
Trash talk leading up to the fight, but down he goes. With a short punch inside.
In March 2006, a young and arrogant Badar Hari fought 30-year-old Peter Graham, whom Badar mocked and called an amateur.
How old are you?
Is he going to bring up the same thing he brought up before?
I'm just asking.
Oh, everyone else is older than me.
I'm just asking.
Oh my God.
How old are you?
No. I'm 30, man.
Okay. Drop dead, motherfucker.
Hari once again showed his bad boy reputation by offending Graham and starting a street fight at the press conference.
Hey, no, stop.
In the actual fight, Hari was knocked out by Graham's trademark rolling thunder. The the hill hit Hari hard on the head and knocked him out cold.
Thunder has rolled. Throws the shot. Always in the last few seconds of the round.
Graham's kick broke Hari's jaw in multiple places and sidelined him for almost a year. In April 2014, Denipa Big Shot Camp entered the ring for his fight against Ahmad Dib on the back of a 7-fight losing streak. The Thai boxer spent most of the opening round dramatically taunting his opponent instead of boxing.
Thanks so much of this, I can tell you. Have a look at this. He's a showman and a half. He actually had, he's 36, he actually had 300 Muay Thai fights. Action as a complete sign of disrespect. Why he's doing that. Yeah, that was low.
He was eventually knocked out in the second round by a heavy combination of punches from his opponent.
It's a Muay Thai fighter always.
The funny thing is that Denipa didn't seem upset that he didn't get back into the fight in time after being dropped to the canvas.
That was a flop if I've ever seen one.
After this defeat, his record stands at 12 wins and 31 losses, 17 of which have been by knockout. He is clearly better at entertaining than he is at boxing. The German mixed martial artist Maurice Adorf shares a frightening resemblance with UFC superstar Conor McGregor, all of which are by design. He even emulates McGregor's trademark confidence both inside and outside the octagon, although the results are not always as desired. Despite his arrogance, Adorf failed to live up to it as he was knocked out by a brutal head kick in just over a minute.
Suplex. Die verärgert man besser nicht. Ui! Die zweite sitzt nicht und das war's. Das war's. An der Wiens ist und hier sehen wir es. Die linke eingesprungen. Da wirbelt Adolf rum beim Aufstehen. Kriegt er noch den High Kick.
Like I told you, I'm a different beast. I'm a different animal. I'm not your average 40-year-old. You feel me? Like, I'm a bad boy. You know what I mean? These young cats, I got still not just mix with, I got beat their little AWSs. I got too much experience, too much seasoning for him. And I'm gonna break him down, I'm gonna stop him, I'm gonna hurt him late.
In November 2018, Jeff Horn faced WBA super middleweight champion Anthony Mundine in Brisbane, Australia. Horn wasted no time in knocking out the former world champion and sending him into retirement in just 96 seconds of action. In March 2022, Alexis Rocha faced Blair Cobbs at the Galen Center in Los Angeles, California.
Does Blair Flair look like he gives a shit? I don't think so. This fight's not going to go the distance. Thank you, Alexis, for talking shit because you have ended your career fucking with Blair Flair. We're going to shut this fight down early, baby. I ain't going nowhere. There ain't no running, ain't no hiding, ain't no pity-pat shots. This is going to be fight. A war going on, baby. Why? Because I'm great and I'm born for it, baby. I'll show you everything I got because I've been ready.
Cobbs had been bragging and making bold statements leading up to the fight, but it was Rocha who let his actions speak in the ring.
A strong, big shots on the inside by a little bit, just like that.
Rocha connects on a good left hand. He described Rocha as a reactionary fighter. Oh, big left hand connects from Rocha.
In the 8th round, Rocha delivered a powerful right hand that sent Cobbs to the canvas. Rocha maintained his dominance in the 9th round, launching a flurry of punches until the referee intervened and stopped the fight.
Nearly caught up in the ropes. The mouthpiece is out, and Rocha is all over him. That is it. What a performance from Alexis Rocha.
In October 2004, Felix Trinidad made his return to the boxing ring, taking on former welterweight champion Ricardo Mayorga. As usual, Mayorga displayed his daring style by willingly exposing his chin and absorbing punches in the opening round.
And this is a Mayorga tactic. Mayorga with another right hand.
Tito was waiting for Mayorga to tire. It's an effective piece of tactics as he wobbles Mayorga.
Trinidad's power ultimately carries the day as he hammers Mayorga, eventually scoring 3 knockdowns in the 8th round, prompting the referee to halt the one-sided contest.
Shots from Tito.
Oh, good hook.
Oh, what a big left hook.
There he is.
Mayorga not throwing it all. Flush with an uppercut.
That's
what a
it.
body shot.
That's
what
the body
a brilliant
shot.
body shot.
I told you the body shot would have done it a long time ago.
Mayorga tries to unload the arsenal against Trinidad. Trinidad comes back. No 3 knockdown rule in effect. Savage left hook by Trinidad. Mayorga goes down for the 3rd time, and Steve Smoger is going to stop the fight.
Greg Jackson and Cornelius Whitlock delivered an exceptionally entertaining performance within 3 rounds.
There he comes in behind the jab and scored with the right hand. Hey, Wilder.
Jackson got careless, throwing a left uppercut from close range with his head exposed, allowing Whitlock to effectively counter with a solid overhand right. But he danced, got cocky, and thought the fight was over. Whitlock did his best to finish Jackson.
Was Jackson in the green, white, and red, yeah.
But the resilient Philly fighter made a remarkable recovery and came back in the following round, ultimately forcing a referee stoppage.
Into the distance of the shorter man, Whitlock.
And now a right hand rains in from Jackson as he's on the attack, and he comes back and wins it.
Now it was Jackson's turn to show some moves.
Jackson.
Behaved like a... Well, right now that dancer...
Kickboxer Melvin Manhoef, notorious for his sneaky acts, came out to fight in the MMA rules set against Bob Schreiber. Before the start of the fight, Schreiber, as a sign of respect, extended his hands to his opponent, but arrogant Manhoef ignored it and left it hanging in the air. Everything went according to the plan of the disrespectful fighter, and he even managed to knock down Schreiber.
Circling around the veteran. And they're down. There a good punch by Manhoef.
After that, Manhoef went guns blazing trying to kill him, but the bullets just bounced off Schreiber's bald head.
The fast fury of Manhoef now going full out. Problems there for Bob Schreiber, who is on the receiving end of kicks and punches.
Manhoef, in despair, resorted to a rat move and punched on the back of the head of his opponent.
Incredible. Bob Schreiber, now we know why. He really means...
After weathering Rodent's storm of attacks, Schreiber took the scumbag down, and with a barrage of ferocious punches, he punished this arrogant rat.
Punching him in the face, of course. Full power blows to the head, full power blows, and there's no answer coming there. And he's almost unconscious. I think there's a big problem there. It's out, it's over. Melvin Manhoef is not really responding.
Klatka była 3-3, czyli tak naprawdę...
This cocky fighter's name is Ferrari. He's like a good dealer of all kinds of dirty shit. Ferrari is the biggest Conor McGregor wannabe. The opponent for this rat was experienced boxer Kamil Laschik. In the lead-up to their fight, things reached the point of absurdity. Throughout the conference, the rat brazenly sat and enjoyed a massage. From the first seconds of the fight, Ferrari wanted to run over his opponent, but hit some bumps. After which, he decided to move his opponent to a horizontal position. Ferrari quickly ran out of gas and started to hold on for his dear life. Ferrari was quickly flipped over, and Camille, like a blacksmith with his hammer fists, flattened the face of this insolent rat. Camille punished the filthy rat and sent the rusty junk to the scrapyard, proving to everyone that it wasn't a Ferrari, but just an old Pontiac. This is Chorshenbiev, and he's done so many dirty actions that he deserves the Rat King title. Before the fight with Mikhail Sivi, Chorshenbiev committed a real rat act. He provoked his opponent, pushing with his head, and then sneakily delivered a knee. The bout was held under bare-knuckle rules, and Sivi was destroying the scoundrel with his homing missiles. After beating the air enough, Chorshambiev realized that he wouldn't win fairly and activated his rat instincts. The despicable Chorshambiev clung to his opponent's throat, but the ref forbade to film the remake of the 50 Shades of Grey movie. Then the rodent pounced on Civi as if he were a piece of cheese. But that wasn't enough for the rascal, and in a bare-knuckle fight, he landed an illegal knee. Infuriated Civi tried to tolerate such dirty moves and knocked him down, sending him on vacation to the rat sort. Finally, Mikhail Civi won by unanimous decision, punishing the sneaky rat. Meet Shuvkal Cherchayev, a dirty fighter known for his disgraceful actions. He's the one who attacked Paul Acosta at the UFC event in Abu Dhabi. And when a fellow fighter invited him onto a podcast, he pulled another sneaky move. But karma doesn't forget, and it caught up to him in a fight against Anatoly Nadratovsky, a fighter who looked like a bargain bin McGregor. Cherchayev started strong with a huge knee, but Nadratovsky took it like a champ. Then he shut down Cherchayev's arrogance like a true gangster. The biggest mistake came when Cherchayev took the fight to the ground, because that's where Nadratovsky unleashed pure punishment.
Cherchayev не получается. Удар любит на самом деле. Смотри, там же временем Маунт практически достать с дистанции сложно.
By the end, the exhausted cheat stumbled around like someone who had one too many drinks at a bar.
Совсем обессиленный Шавкал, и сил стоять именно уже совсем нет. Должен брать вот это вот, знаешь, доброту такую. Бой завершен.
That night, Nadratovsky made sure Cherchayev learned the hard way. Fighting in a cage is a lot tougher than cheap shots outside of it. Murad Artsulayev stepped into the bare-knuckle ring against Andrei Borisov, but what happened next was pure disgrace. From the start, Borisov did everything he could to provoke his humble opponent. And when the round ended, he showed his arrogance by refusing a handshake. But Artsulayev had a lesson to teach. He wiped that fake tan right off Borisov's smug face. Seeing that Artsulayev had the size advantage, Borisov pulled a move straight out of the rat playbook. But Artsulayev took the hits like a warrior, proving his chin was made of steel. In the third round, Artsulayev, ever the sportsman, once again offered respect. And once again, Borisov acted like a weasel. That was the last straw. Artsulayev flipped the switch, unleashed his fury, and pummeled the little hamster. When it was all over, the judges declared Artsulayev the winner by unanimous decision. The rat got what he deserved. Before his fight with young Javed Razaev, Timur Abdurakhmanov pulled a truly dirty move. He sucker punched his opponent, breaking his jaw and forcing him into a long recovery. When Razaev's brother Amir Jumabayev heard about it, he stepped up to get revenge. The fight began with wild action, like a chaotic stock market floor.
ЦСКА-арена, фантастический турнир, и вы посмотрите с самого первого.
Сразу начало резко.
Тимур,
Jumabayev had one goal, to show his injured brother that karma is real.
Держалка у Эмира шикарная. Но Тимуру сейчас нужно выстоять, потому что я боюсь, что он уже из последних сил. Обессиленный уже Тимур и Эмир его. И все.
Listening to his corner's advice, he broke through Abdurakhmanov's defense with sharp uppercuts.
Опять попадает.
И попадает тоже вот.
After taking a brutal beating, the dirty fighter had no choice but to give up,
Проиграл Тимур.
paying the price for his shameful actions.
Технический нокаут и победа.
Meet Melvin Manhoef, a fighter infamous for his sneaky tricks, cocky attitude, and total disrespect for his opponents. But Gokhan Saki wasn't about to let that slide. He stepped up ready to give Manhoef a one-way ticket to Karmatown. The fight started with Manhoef bringing the pressure. But Saki had other plans. It was like he had rat poison on his boots. One hit, and down went the rodent. Then Saki shook him up and left him hanging on the ropes like yesterday's laundry. Even Manhoef seemed to realize he had it coming. He went for a spinning kick and ended up knocking himself down. From there, Saki turned his legs into baseball bats, treating Manhoef like Babe Ruth treated a fastball. He unleashed a brutal combo that knocked the scumbag out cold. Justice was served.
Gokhan, the Rebel Saki!
Adam Fife's bout against Alex Thorne shocked everyone. At the beginning of the fight, Fife offered to touch gloves and sneakily attacked, committing a rat act. Showing his character, Alex Thorne decided that his opponent should be introduced to karma.
And he's down again. This is going to be all over to ground and pound. Very best all over. What a stoppage in 24 seconds of the opening round.
He's from the blue corner, Alex Thorne.
This arrogant show-off goes by the name Vaso Bakočević.
Zadaje udarce.
Protivnik.
And if National Geographic had an award for Rat of the Year, he'd have it locked in. At the weigh-in against Tonci Perusko, he pulled a dirty move, as expected. That's when Francisco Barrio got the call from Karma headquarters in Croatia. His mission: punish the rodent. Bakočević strutted into the cage, randomly kicked the canvas, and disrespected Barrio's fans for no reason. Then, in classic rat fashion, he extended his hand for a friendly greeting, only to sneak in a cheap kick. But Karma wasn't in the mood for games. In an instant, Bakočević got his order delivered express, a nasty leg injury. Barrio, not wanting to dirty his fists on a fighter like this, chose a faster way to serve justice. Like an executioner, he locked in a guillotine and publicly beheaded the filthy rat, putting an end to his disgraceful antics. In 2021, Daniel Elbaev stepped into the ring against Sergei Arbuzov, but even before the fight, the so-called diet antagonist was up to no good, provoking his opponent and charging at him like a hungry man spotting a fresh burger. Once the fight began, Elbaev kept up his dirty tricks. He reached out for a glove touch. The fat rat pounced with a cheap shot.
Рванул вперед Даниэл. Почти 20 он проигрывает. И посмотрите, сдается Даниэл, все равно хочет продолжать бой. Филипп явно забирает первый раунд. Уверенно. Пропускает сейчас Даниэл Эльбаев, но вроде бы...
But karma was cooking, and soon, Elbaev ate a vicious liver kick that had him ready to puke.
Пошел с разножки.
Guess all that cheese had to come back out. Realizing he couldn't win fair and square, Elbaev tried one last sneaky move. But Arbuzov had enough. He snapped, unleashed pure fury, and gave the scoundrel the beating of his life. In the end, Arbuzov won by absolutely wrecking his opponent, punishing the Angry Birds pig for all his disgraceful antics. Let's go back to 1990 when Anthony Hambrick and Booker T. Ward met at Fort Bragg in North Carolina. Hambrick performed a series of choreographed dance moves with his team before the fight. and even after the two fighters had touched gloves.
Quickly, last time we saw him, he looked extremely loose, very confident. He puts on a show.
He should have saved some of the energy for the actual fight. Hambrick got off to a good start and buckled Ward's knees with a left hook.
Title. Now, today, Jeff Moore left by Hambrick. That sinks Ward.
But Ward recovered and detonated a left hook that sent Hambrick to the canvas.
That Magic Johnson, Isaiah and he has a smile right struggling to his feet.
He got back up, but Ward continued with the assault and quickly sent him back to the canvas for the second time.
On top of Hambrick, he could smell it now. Hambrick.
After the second knockdown, Ward finished him off with a wild right hand.
5 to 20 seconds. That is over.
On September 15th, 2018, David Lemieux and Jerry Spike O'Sullivan met in a WBA middleweight eliminator bout in Las Vegas, Nevada. During the press conference, O'Sullivan vowed to smash Lemieux's head and even continued taunting him during the face-off.
What is that? Smell that? I think I smell fear. This little grease ball here. I just passed him in the corridor there. I think I can smell a bit of shit as well. He wants to shit himself. Not to smash your head in right there in the lobby. Little greasy piece of shit. Saturday night, we're gonna fight. The talking will be done. And it's gonna be like our careers. The fight will be like our careers. He's on the way down. I'm on the way up. I'm coming for Triple G or Canelo, the winner. Saturday night, be ready, you little greasy piece of shit.
Where is Canada? Oh, they want to go right now. Save it for the ring, gentlemen. Tomorrow night, HBO, pay-per-view, live from T-Mobile. Make some noise, Las Vegas!
However, with less than a minute in the opening round, Lemieux connected with a brutal left hook, sending O'Sullivan crashing to the canvas.
He's doing it. So could that be part of his plan?
And down goes O'Sullivan.
He's hurt.
And it is over.
Oh my goodness.
Laura has stopped it in the first.
Wow.
And Spike O'Sullivan has no idea where he's at.
Action a little bit. Look at that left hook. He turns his face. Oh, perfect. And he sees the shot on the inside. He doesn't even look at it. He just throws the left hook. Touch the chin.
Appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much.
Oh shit! Already dropping.
I made it.
Already dropping.
Just one foot. Imagine right after.
Look at him going that way too. Yep, getting hurt again, second time. God damn, got hurt first time, got postponed, almost got hurt again. We're doing an interview. And that's how clumsy he's gonna be September 10th, applying all that pressure he keeps talking about.
On September 10th, 2022, Anison Gibb and American YouTuber Austin McBroom met in the ring to settle their rivalry.
What's your response?
He's just not on my level. He has an awkward style. He's unathletic. He hasn't fought nobody with his experience. This is his fifth fight. All his other fighters, he didn't fight nobody. Yeah, he fought Jake Paul, but I feel like he was...
Didn't you say he was the best boxer on the card?
I feel like he was terrible when he fought Jake. Now that he has more experience, he's gotten better. He works hard. We know he's gonna bring his A game, hopefully. But other than that, he's not on my level. He's not
Taylor Holder, not the best boxer on the card.
He's not quicker than I am. He's not more athletic than I am. He's not faster than I am. He's not stronger than I am.
McBroom claimed that Gibb was nowhere near his level in terms of skill set and vowed to knock the British YouTuber out.
Here, you're gonna be... Watch out, bro.
Move, man.
Watch out.
Guys, don't fight, guys. Don't be silly.
That pressure is bullshit. That's all you can do. Is you gonna feel it September 10th. You gonna feel it. You gonna feel it. Wearing them big ass shoes. Them big ass shoes. You live. Yeah, right here. Game time. Finally here. It's been a year. It's been a fucking year, and we here. Yup. It's been a year, baby. You see in your eyes. You see in your eyes. Yeah. You ain't never seen anybody like me. You ain't never seen nobody like me. Ain't never seen nobody like me. Never. You gonna see it though. You gonna see it though.
McBroom got off to a good start, flooring Gibb in round 1. But Gibb made a comeback and dropped McBroom 4 times before stopping him with a big right hand in round 4.
Nice shot by Gibb. Oh, nice shot. Remember what Gibb said?
Look, he's trying to close the gap, then punch. Look.
Oh, big uppercut! Gambler gonna finish him off the room! There he goes again for the third time! Big man! This one's over! As the seven-figure Gambler!
Born in 1980, Vyacheslav Datsik was never a normal child. From a young age, he was a menace, constantly picking fights, causing chaos, and earning himself an unbelievable 16 concussions before even reaching adulthood. His violent nature quickly caught the attention of the police, who kept him on their radar for years. At 18, everything changed when Datsik discovered combat sports. He had finally found a way to channel his aggression, a place where he could break bones, crush skulls, and inflict pain without getting arrested. This is the story of a fighter unlike any other. A man too wild for the sport, too dangerous for the streets, and too violent for the prison itself. Datsik had no real technique, no polished skill set, just sheer raw power that made him an unstoppable force. This overwhelming strength earned him the nickname Red Tarzan, a wild man with inhuman toughness. Just a year into his training, he made his professional debut against none other than future UFC champion Andrei Pitbull Arlovsky. Unlike the street-brawling Datsik, Arlovsky had spent his entire life mastering martial arts. He was experienced, disciplined, and far more technically refined than the reckless Russian brawler. The fight began with immediate chaos. The two clashed with wild exchanges, fists flying like sledgehammers. But it quickly became obvious. Arlovsky, sculpted in the gym, was leagues ahead of Datsik, who relied purely on instinct. The experience of back alley fights meant nothing against a well-trained warrior. For the entire first round, the Pitbull tore into his opponent, battering him with precision strikes. Datsik, despite his size, looked more like a human punching bag, absorbing brutal shots without any real defense. But just when it seemed like Arlovsky had this fight in the bag, everything changed in an instant. In a moment of sheer brutality, Datsik summoned every ounce of his monstrous strength, loaded it into his fist, and landed a single, devastating punch. In the blink of an eye, Arlovsky's world shattered. He hit the canvas unconscious, sent on a sudden and unexpected journey through the realm of nightmares. In his debut fight after crushing such a strong opponent, Datsik confidently set out to conquer the peaks of MMA. But unlike other fighters, this crazy Russian robbed stores in his spare time. Soon he was declared insane and put in a psychiatric hospital, but he escaped from there and illegally arrived in Norway. In Norway, Datsik was found sane and arrested before being deported to Russia. He spent a total of 9 years behind bars and was released in 2019. Once Vyacheslav was released, he immediately returned to fighting, but he no longer looked as imposing as he did in his youth. Because of his reputation, no organization wanted to accept the red-haired Tarzan. But Vyacheslav still got his chance and finally fully returned to the fight. Although he looked like an angry troll after his prison sentence, he still had explosive power in his fists. He confidently knocked out any opponent, but his wild nature always made itself known. Tarzan was like a wild beast that entered the ring as if on the hunt. But soon, the brother of legendary Fedor Emelianenko came to destroy this crazy fighter. Russian sports legend Alexander Emelianenko was the undisputed favorite, as he had fights with such legends as Mirko Cro Cop, Fabricio Werdum, and George Barnett. The wild fighters seemed to have no chance.
И мы сейчас станем свидетелями того, как они наконец-таки согласно правилам.
However, Tarzan retired the legend in just 10 seconds.
Левый боковой сейчас будет.
Вот это попадание.
действительно улыбает Александра Емельяненко.
Улыбается Вячеслав Дацик, как понимаешь, что он...
Since the technically skilled fighters couldn't even last one round with Tarzan, the organization decided to give him an equally crazy opponent. This jacked giant's name is Geronimo dos Santos, and he is called the ring chef because he turns each opponent into a champ.
Вот это поворот! Ваш прогноз был пророческим, да?
At the press conference, cocky dos Santos tried to break his opponent's spirit by intimidating him. But he didn't expect Dacik's level of insanity to be much higher. The two wild fighters were about to find out who was the most ferocious and intimidating rival. These mad beasts seemed equal to each other, but in the wildlife, only the strongest one survives. As the fight began, Dacik showed his opponent, who was at the top of the food chain. However, dos Santos was able to get up thinking he still had a chance to win, but Dacik quickly buried all those hopes.
И Мондрагон сейчас пятится назад, потому что вот коварный у него, да, корявые удары, падает Мондрагон после...
Dos Santos's confidence was completely gone, and he cowardly refused to continue the fight.
Занимается Вячеслав Дацик. Все, остановка, это победа каких-то сюрпризов, либо какого-то перформанса.
Dacik showed dos Santos who was the real lion in the pride, and who was the cowardly pussy. Vyacheslav's next opponent was the great Antonio Silva. The Brazilian fighter was nicknamed Bigfoot because of its huge size. The Brazilian was a former UFC fighter, and in addition, not so long ago, he defeated such legendary fighters as Fedor Emelianenko,
Putting it on, the great Fedor Emelianenko.
Travis Brown, and Alistair Overeem.
Brown trying to stick a big shot from Silva. And Brown might be out. Antonio, Bigfoot Silva.
But all that glory was shattered as soon as the bell sounded.
Practice yourself full time and listen to my comments. Touch gloves. Good luck.
И стараться нокаутировать. Может наткнуться на удар на встречный. Боковые.
Dacik gave the legendary Brazilian a carnival of pain and terror.
Он бьет размашисто.
Полетел. Ну как это было в его последнем бою? Почувствовал запах крови Вячеслав.
The wild Russian was so superior to his opponent that he didn't even hesitate to let his defense down. Even huge legs couldn't help Bigfoot escape from the attacks of the red-haired monster. Tarzan mauled Silva as if he'd had his last shot of vodka.
Активно начал второй раунд Вячеслав Дацик. Прям град, шквал ударов принимает Бигфут.
Because of Dacik's powerful blows, the Brazilian was unable to even defend himself and obediently waited for his end.
Много промахов. Я думаю, сейчас если он перетерпит эту серию...
Все, он уже опустил руки. Бигфут опустил руки, пора уже заканчивать.
Рыжий Тарзан Дацик!
And Dacik ended the whole performance with the traditional predator roar. Vyacheslav Dacik is the most extraordinary and furious fighter in the world. Therefore, only one fighter could be a worthy opponent for him, and his name was Tyson. But unfortunately, it was not the king of boxing. It was the king of rooster hairstyles, Tyson Dejan. Unlike the previous opponents, Dejan was much smaller than Dacik, but thanks to his speed, he was able to dictate the pace of the fight to the ball.
Чуть растерялся, Дацика разрывать. Помнит прекрасно.
His swift blows hit the target, but the thick armor of the red-haired Tarzan didn't feel the damage.
Глухим брутальным нокаутом. От него можно ждать реально. Посмотрите, какую гримасу.
But these blows made Dacik angry. And despite being slow, he struck Tyson with a series of lightning-fast blows. And soon he sent that rooster's body out of the ring and his mind out of this world. Having proven that some fraud couldn't beat him.
Дижон не стремится моментально вскочить. Вернули в ринг камерунца, но решил он не подниматься. Рыжий Тарзан Датсик!
Vyacheslav Datsik is the craziest fighter in Russia, a man who, despite his fat body, destroys his opponents like a wild animal. He could have become one of the greatest fighters in the world, but because of his insanity, he failed to fulfill his potential. Give us a like if you wouldn't want to face him in the ring. Thanks for watching.